that see you around, but may not really know what your part is in all this and what you're up to. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Right now, running a pre-apprenticeship group for 18 to 25-year-olds through an organization called POIC. It's a very long name, Portland Opportunities Industrialization Center. And about 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to help start this pre-apprenticeship, which was kind of a new thing for that organization, with the intention of helping to diversify construction, basically get more women and minorities, people of color into construction. We've been up and running for about 2 years now, figuring out what that program looks like and how best to try and make this work, sort of with the intentions. It's kind of our direction is going more and more for me toward trying to design a program for us that is kind of hits those high points, but being that a lot of my students come from the city, urban areas and stuff like that, my students don't have a lot of experience. Some of them have no experience. Most of them have little to no experience. And so my big design with this is to try and design a program that, somebody that is interested in this trade, is interested in getting into construction, can come through this program, starting day one, pick up all of the fundamental stuff that you need to go into any trade, be that carpentry, doing concrete work, remodeling, whatever. And it's, starting with tape measures and learning how to measure and, some basic construction math and swinging a hammer and hitting nails and cutting stuff in half and, all the fun stuff. Previous to that, I taught laborer's apprenticeship here at the college for 4 years. I'm still teaching a couple of welding classes here at night. Yeah. I've done the heavy equipment operators apprenticeship for a couple of years, and I did a very small window. We had a tile program here that I was running as well.
All right, yeah.
My history before that, I got into the trades sort of young, never really having like a direct idea. I didn't come out of high school thinking I want to be a carpenter, I want to be a tile installer, I want to lay concrete. It was more, I gravitated toward that stuff because I just like to do it. I have a very short attention span. I like to stay busy. I like the dynamism of, you start the day with a pile of lumber and a box of nails and a hammer, and you finish the day with first floor of a home framed up. That's there's nothing more satisfying than that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's cathartic in that way. And I've got to say, being here at the school, day in, day out, I see all of the cohorts and the students that you're bringing through, and I got to hand it to you. It's really awesome to watch the amount of information you pour into those minds and the hands-on stuff that you're doing with them it's really cool. It really is. And anyways, hats off to you.
Thank you.
In that
Thank
way,
you. I appreciate that.
It's really fun to see these light bulbs turning on. And like today, they're out there doing stucco and siding and foundations. I see you doing drywall, floor systems. I mean, I don't think there's anything in conventional kind of construction that I haven't seen you put their hands into. So anyways, hats off to you. And I think it's just an awesome program. And I see a lot of your students come into my class later on.
Absolutely. So what main goal for us is try and expose, with our pre-apprenticeships, is just try and expose students who, don't really know anything about the trades to a lot of the different trades and what's out there, because you have this enormous universe of work opportunities within construction. It isn't just hitting nails with a hammer. It isn't just pouring concrete. Any company has, many positions, that may have nothing to do with, using a shovel or swinging a hammer. Absolutely. But within that, there's a lot of different things. And right now, the economy being what it is, construction industry booming like it is, there's just an enormous amount of opportunity out there for folks to go to work. And one of the things that I really appreciate about construction that I think, if I have, for example, young 18, 19-year-old student come in, You know, my father used to tell me this too. You know, if you don't know what you want to do, you know, pick up a hammer, go to work, learn something. You know, it will. You know, you could put yourself through college swinging a hammer, and I did. You know, got done with college and realized my English degree would qualify me to make lattes at Starbucks, or I could just keep building like I was doing and supporting my family and paying my mortgage and making my car payments, and it was ultimately what I'd love to do.
Right. You know, something that comes to mind while you were just talking about getting yourself through college, and you know, by swinging a hammer. Something that comes to mind is that so many young people I see these days, they get about half a step into that learning curve.
Yeah.
Which, coming out of a city environment and having no background, like you're saying, is absolutely vertical sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a climb. And it's a beautiful thing to see the light bulbs go on and realize, as they realize, hey, you know what, I can make this climb. That's really cool. But you know, the thing I see so often, and it seems like it's a pervasive sort of mentality, is that, oh, this is too difficult. This is not what I signed up for. And how do you deal with that? Because I know you see it a lot. Like you've got to counter a lot of maybe false ideas about construction, right? Or overcoming some of these attitudes.
Part of it, I think, is, you know, I fundamentally believe, you know, at my core, that this is work that anybody can do. There are skills that you pick up, and they're going to, you know, a lot of it is just practice, right? The fundamentals of what's happening on the ground on a day-to-day basis are not that complicated.
No.
And what it takes more than anything is just grit. It takes some confidence, and it takes, you know, just putting yourself all into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some perseverance.
It's just work.
Yeah.
And you know, I tell my students this all the time. You know, this stuff may seem difficult. It may seem complicated right now. If this is new to you, very soon going to work is going to be the easiest part of your day. Life is complicated. Work, piece of cake. You're gonna get this down. You're gonna learn how to do it, and the rest of life, family, kids, wives, boyfriends, you know, parents. That's the hard stuff.
Right.
This is just work, and you know, anybody coming into this new that has, you know, a good work ethic, a good attitude, is willing to learn. Like those are the keys to success. With my students, I have them for 12 weeks. At the end of 12 weeks, you know, I could care less if they're bending nails, you know, and still scratching their head about. You know, the geometry that we're going over and figuring out how to build roofing trusses. If they can show up every day, if they're willing to learn, if they have a good attitude, and you know, that's all you need. That's the secret to it. This is all learnable stuff. It isn't always skills. Easy, you know, but it's all learnable stuff, and it just takes a right attitude and a little bit of grit, and you know, I really do feel this is work that anybody can do. A lot of it is just, you know, trying to instill that mindset. Like, you know, my big catchphrase in class, and I write it on the board the first day of class, is failure is not an option. And that's an attitude that over the 12 weeks that I've got the kids, I want to try and instill this in them. It's, you know, this is fundamental to, you know, to sort of the culture of construction. We have a project that we're working on. Whatever problems may arise, our job is to solve it, is to fix it, is to figure it out. A lot of times we don't have a map for how we do that. You know, you learn how to do it right by doing it wrong a couple of times, maybe doing it backwards.
You learn to be a professional problem solver, right?
Absolutely, and it's, you know, it's more of a, you know, developing critical thinking skills and confidence in the fact that, you know, we're going to get this done. You know, come hell or high water, if we just keep grinding on it. You know. There's nothing we can't solve. And you know, 20 years in construction, I feel, you know, I've done enough of this and I've seen enough of this that I don't think there's anything we couldn't build.
Right.
I don't think there's, you know, if we had the right plans for a NASA space shuttle, it might take a little while, but 100% confident we could build that.
Yeah.
You know, it's all variations on a theme. And the theme is, you know, let's knuckle down and get it done and figure out how to do this.
Yeah, I really appreciate your insight, and again, I see what you're doing out there with the kids. I say kids. Some of these people
kids,
are young adults.
Kids to me,
very
young
often.
men and women, absolutely.
Yeah, and then I'm seeing some of them in my classes too, and we're seeing them succeed, and it's extremely it's gratifying.
The programs that we have at the college here, you know, and the programs that are available in construction right now, the work that's available in construction right now, the wages that someone stepping onto a job site for the first time can get right now, you know, kind of blow me away. There's a ton of opportunity, and it's silly for people not to take advantage of it. You know, and this may not be a career path that somebody wants to follow for 30 years of their life, but
it's a good jump start, right?
It's a damn good jump start, and I truly believe that, you know, what you learn in construction, you know, is going to translate to anything that you want to do, because it builds confidence,
Absolutely.
It builds a lot of grit, and it, you know, it promotes that problem-solving mentality. We can figure this out. It might just take a little more work than we thought when we started this morning.
Lifelong learners.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well,
thanks, Zane.
let's do it again.
Absolutely.
And as always,